Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, the yarda will go downtown. The yarda will go down. I've been on plenty of yards, man, where they went down, and everybody's always looking around. And in Menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to talk about it, but I'm telling you, Vatos are like, what happened, Holmes? What happened? You know what I mean? So hey, the homies didn't even tell me, but hey, now look, watch out. Now I got to write a report and tell them why I didn't join in, and Sasuke could go, hey, it wasn't even us. It wasn't? Yeah, why you all paranoid? I'm not, right? Things happen. The yard goes down. No one ever knows, you know? Shit could just crack off. For most instances, when the yard goes down, everybody knows what's going to happen, you know? You could feel the electricity in the air. There's a buzz in the air that I can't explain. And people are all grouped up, looking around. Sasuke jacketed up. The security is way heightened. Everyone is ready for what's going to crack because you never know. You know, this is prison. Prison is a lot different from the real world. You know, in the penitentiary and prison, there's a certain conduct. You have to conduct yourself in a certain fashion, very professional. And when we say professional, a lot of people have asked me, why do you guys always use the word professional? Well, that's just the word for it. You got to be respectful. You got to be determined. You got to be assertive. You got to be aware. There's a lot of words that go into the whole makeup of the get down. It's not just fucking going there and ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be, you're dead. You know what I mean? Shit's going to happen. You can't go in there and play the baboso role. You can't be a bofo. You know what I mean? You can't be an idiot. You need to go in there, keep your boca shut, keep your fucking big old fucking orejas wide open like a jackrabbit, and play your role. You know, just play your role. If you're with the group faction, if you're with a gang, if you're with an organization, then you should already know the rules and regulations and everything that goes into that. You know, if you're not, and you're just a con trying to take up space, and, you know, most of these cons don't click, and you're one of those, it is what it is. You know, I can't speak on your behalf. Hopefully you'll make it, and don't fake it, just take it. But at the same time, when that yard goes down, everybody's affected. And I'm going to give you the intricacies into what happens. So say, take for instance, let me give you a little rundown, man. I remember one time the Woods, you know, the Woods got off with the Africanos. Now, at this time, we were in a lightweight alliance with the Africanos, but not such as where any problem that they got into, we would jump, and vice versa. You know, anything that we got into, any type of conflict, they weren't jumping. If it was some type of mutual enemiga where it was, hey, you know what I mean? They're tripping off you guys, they're tripping off us. They're coming into our area. Of course, we're going to defend our territory, our area. And likewise, they would do the same thing. And then there's a common understanding. Let's get off together. You got us? You already know, brother. And boom, it was cracking. But at this particular place and at this particular time, they were lightweight getting into beef with the Gavas, right? Now, everybody knows, man, black and white don't mix. So, okay, no zebras cracking on that yard. It's black over here and it's white over there. And that's just what it is. And they're both respectful groups. They're both groups that will handle their business. No questions asked, you know. They got a lot of history. They play a big, intricate part into the history of everything prison has to offer and what's going on. Nobody are slouches. Of course, you're going to have certain individuals that are sucker fishes. They ain't really trying to get involved in nothing. So, they ain't with it. But for the most part, most of them are going to be about them activities. They're going to clap back or they're going to clap first. Clapping is going to happen, Tony, right? So what happened on this particular day was the Africanos had been getting in a mix with the Gavas. Now, I don't know what exactly was leading up to it. I just know for a while there was a little bit of tension. We were hearing on the yard that, hey, it might crack off. It might go down today. We'll see. And of course, on that particular day, we were ready. We were all pedazoed up. Everybody was in a defensive stance, a half 60, maintaining on the yard, keeping your eyes peeled for anything. Because you don't know, you know, hey, the word on the curb could be, hey, we're going to move on these people. And then they could fucking turn it on you, Chicano U-turn, and move on you as well. You know, just because we're in the same area on that yarda. But we were kind of in our fucking doing by our bars, by our tables, just maintaining a regular day on the yarda, and nothing cracked that day. You know, the word on the curb was it was going down for surely that day, for sure. Vatos were going to get off. They were going to get off where they were mad at, and nothing happened. The yard didn't go down. Okay? The next day, first thing in the morning, yard, I'm talking about, they're still releasing blocks, and all hell broke loose. So I was scared. There was fucking Africanos flying over here, Gavas going over there, Vatos getting stomped. I mean, it was a melee. It was a serious melee. Of course, we were like this. We're posted up. Now, in some prisons, when the yard goes down, it's immediate, get down, Boom, you want to play the buddy system. You want to be with the homeboy. One homeboy's turn this way, your turn this way, so that way no one can sneak up on you and do a sneak attack. Sometimes vatos are getting apprehended. They figure, fuck it, I'm going to get my little kick on one time for my mind. And get theirs on the way out because they already know they're going to the shoe or the oil and they're trying to get their whole issue, nothing but their issue. So help them, vatos. So that's the way the Norteños did it. You know, the Sureños as well. On some prison yards, you don't have to necessarily get on your stomach. I know in Tracy you did, but on some yardas, you could actually sit down. Vatos will sit back to back. So, okay, you got me? Yeah, I got you. You better hope the Vato got you, because if not, he could be the one that fucking snatches you and sas. I thought you had me. I do, puto. See? And in that fashion. But the yard goes down. And that's the meaning to the yard going down. When the alarm hits, when something cracks off, you go down. Now, I've seen babosos go down before the alarm even hits. Vatos are getting off, they're already down. Hey, bro, that's dry snitching, vato. You know what I mean? Hey, they're not even seeing yet. Let them at least get off for a little while and let the alarm hit before you alert the placa. They see a whole bunch of babosos down. No, fuck that. We ain't getting shot. No, stand your ass up. Proceed to do your fucking curls, your imaginary ones with the sandbag, and your dips and your push-ups. Oh my, you know, do your burpees. And let the vatos handle their pleito. Because you never know, man. Vatos could get away with some shit. You know, you don't know what's cracking. It's not your business anyway. Stop looking over there, puto. Stop snitching. That's called dry snitching. It's just que watch out, the vatos are getting off. Oh, you got your money on Teofimo? Well, he lost, sorry. So let's get, bang, bang, bang. Nah, chale, man. Just let the vatos do their thing on the yarda. Mind your own business. That's your best interest. That's in your best interest. But the yard will go down. You know, as soon as that alarm hits, if you're not involved in the incident, like I said, man, half 60, defensive stance, drop, do whatever's the policies of that yard, and handle your business, man. Move on to the next day, to the next yard, to the next lockdown, whatever the situation may be. Now, let me tell you a story about the yard going down in Tracy. Okay, this one I will always have reflection on. One, my Theo was on the yard with me. Yes, my Theo that laced me up out of Turlock, Big Joe. The vato was there with me. This was the first time we ever walked this yarda together. It was something I'll never forget because he's resting in peace now. But at the same time, man, we actually got to be on the yard together and go through this traumatic experience. And it's something I'll never forget. You know what I mean? So again, after I tell you guys the story of what really happened, you guys probably ain't never going to forget it either. So we're on this yard. Okay, we're in Tracy. The makeup of Tracy's, you go out to the yarda. There's bars way in the back. It's a very big yard. There's a tower in the middle. As you come out of the blocks and you go down this long hallway out into the yard where the yard opens, there's a big track. Okay, Norteños functioned all the way in the back in the bars, and there was a lot of us. It was a reception. So there was different counties, basically Ranflas, lightweight, had different sections of the bars. Over here was Merced County. Right here next to us was Stanislaus, San Joaquin, Sacramento. Oh my, on and on. It's a valley reception, so mostly it's going to be 209, all the way from Sakura up to lightweight to Larry County. That's the homeboys you're going to have. Of course, there'll be some homeboys from San Jose, Salas, whatever, depending on where they got caught up, what county they caught their charge out of, you know, wherever they fell out of. But on this particular day, I remember I was working out with the homeboy Gato de M Street from Merced. We're chopping it up, and my Theo was actually on the yard. I had just seen him. I had pulled up, seen him the yard before. We chopped it up. So he was over there kicking back with us, even though he mostly kicked it with the homeboys from Modesto and Turlock, Stanislaus County. He was over there, but just based on I was his nephew. He was embraced. He was a loved one. We're all kicking it. Now, at this time, I'm yard security, right? So I was a very busy individual. I'm looking around. I'm surveying the situation where counts are being taken, posts are being distributed. Things are happening on the yard that we can't get into, but shit's happening, okay? And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I see a group of vatos start getting off. The Gavas rushed the Africanos. Again, it always happens with black and white. Like I said, they don't mix. They got off. And now we had just come off a lockdown with the whites, so immediately we jumped up like, what's cracking? But it wasn't for us. There was a particular Africano that was there. A couple of them had disrespected these vatos in K-Wing, these white boys, and these white boys felt that if for no other reason, they should make their shit happen, right? And they did. You know, they had a couple little things, and it went down. It was raining on the yard that day, right? I remember I thought we weren't going to get yard because the weather was bad. It was storming. It was ice cold. I forget the actual month, but it was that month when it starts transitioning from hot to cold, where it's icy, right? Lightweight, foggy, just a lot of fucking rain. And I remember we were out there and it was not raining hard, but there was a mist coming down. And as soon as that shit kicked off and they fucking placas came and they put us all on our stomachs, and it happened right by where we were at. They left us out there for fucking 3 hours in puddles of water. It's storming. Vatos are drowning. Hey! They handcuffed everybody on the yard and left us out there freezing our asses off for 3 hours. I remember my tío was right there, and I was trying to scoot closer to him to warm him up because he's an older vato at that time, you know. Feeling bad, like, damn, look at my tío. You know, my tío was sick. You know, he had a couple diseases going on. He was battling his own demons. I was like, damn, he's on my list. Like, hey, I'm itching. I can't scratch myself. I want to try to go over to him so I could fucking get closer to him, you know, so he could stay warm. Like, damn, that's my tío right there. I was upset more that he was having to go through this bullshit, but I myself was going through it too. I was over there like, don't try, I got you. I'm fucking, don't even, right? My team were going, Rrr. It was cold, homes. I remember they stripped us all butt naked on the yard, walked us all down like some babosas down the hallway. I was in J-Wing at the time. They get me to J-Wing. I go upstairs. I could barely walk. I'm all handcuffed cold. My soul's right there, dick swinging this way and that way. Like, fuck, bro, it's cold. And we got there, man. Immediately, we started to try to put our hands in the hot water in the sink. Brown-ass hot water in Tracy. It was just an ugly situation. It took about 2 to 3 hours just to maintain body warmth and everything. But the yard went down. Okay, these placas knew it was going to go down. We didn't. So I'm scared. It's hard for the communication in Tracy. You know, different blocks, different things are happening. We didn't actually know what was going to happen, but the placas did. And that's the reason why they released us to the yard in this weather. They said, oh, yeah, we got something for your guys' asses. You guys are going to go out to that yard. It's going to go down, and we're going to leave your asses out there. You're going to suffer. I know, suffer we did. I'll never forget that day in Tracy. That's infamous, Vato, right? It was cold. The vatos, the only ones that didn't freeze their ass off were the ones that got in the melee, because guess what? They got took to K-Wing to the oil. They were in that motherfucker kicking back eating bologna sandwiches while we were out there with our pipas in the fucking puddles. Like, oh, it was all bad. Bad situation. But that's one of the times I'll never forget when the yard went down. Okay, and the yard goes down frequently. You could be on the yard in prison and an alarm will hit and everyone drops. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. And then they're like, oh, false alarm, get up. And then everyone's back up and you're back to regular scheduled program. You know, of course you're looking around. So good, was it? You know, I think they fuck with you sometimes. Hey, up, down, up, down. They be in prison trying to play Squid Games. These motherfuckers is off the hook. That's just how it is on the yard. You never know what's cracking. And when something really does crack, you know, you'll know. Okay, now here's another story that I told. And I told it before. I was on a yard. And everybody knew that there was a vato was going to get removed on this yard. The only one that in this whole fucking yard that didn't know he was going to get removed was the vato getting removed, right? Everybody knew what was happening. It was a Southsider mix, and I remember the Southsiders coming up to us and be like, hey, we're going to do some thing. They weren't telling us too much, just letting us know that something was going to go down, and for us not to be alarmed if something goes down. And so we were all on half 60 again, maintaining, watching, and pobrecilla. I'm not going to go into the details because it could implicate some motherfuckers, but I'm just going to say, have you ever heard that song, Toss Up? Neighborhood? Ho. They tossed them up. It was over. It was a wrap. The yard went down. They left us out there on the yard for 6 to 7 hours with the yard down, doing their investigation because, of course, the vato got flighted up out of there. And they started, and I mean, we were right there watching the whole investigation. You know what I mean? Everyone that was in the immediate area, of course, they were handcuffed. They were taken to ad seg so they could check their hands, or, you know, if they were under investigation, if they thought they were involved. Okay, so here's another thing that happened on the yard when the yard went down. Okay, something I was involved in. So, I'm actually in Corcoran on the yard, and it cracked off. Okay, it cracked off with the Norteños and the Bay Area, the Kumis. And something had happened. A homeboy had words with one of the Kumi cats. We tried to get at one of the main Kumi guys, let him know, you know, what was going on. His homeboy was a little boisterous, getting a little loud. He was like, pretty much, you know, he's going, this the little homie, he's going to do what he does. Understandable. That's his homeboy. He's going to ride with them. Cool. Guess what? We're going to ride with ours too. So we got off. It was like a 9 on 15. 15 of us, 9 on them. 9 of them. We got off, and man, did that yard go down. That yard went down, up, down, up, down, up. And anyone that knows the Norteños program knows that, man, we are not to hit the ground when we're involved in something until shots are fired. So your life is in their hands, right? Of course, shots were fired several times. Vato still kept getting up. I'm looking like, do I get up? What do I do? What do I do, right? And I was teeter-tottering like that. I handled my business. At the end of the day, we all went to the oil, and that was that. Of course, all of us got write-ups, 115s. They figured it all out. A lot of us did oil time. One homeboy went to the shoe. That's just what it was. And a couple of vatos went to the infirmary or to the hospital. Quietly as it's kept, prison, the history of prison, the yard goes down. You know, it's not necessarily because someone uses a pedazo and there's a sticking. The yard can go down on anything. You know, if they're bringing certain people through the yard, you know, they'll drop the yard. Like I said, a lot of it's at the placa's discretion. Sometimes the IGI be walking around and they just will drop the yard immediately. IGI is the Internal Gang Investigations Unit, and what they want to do is they got people identified that they're, you know, they're searching or whatever, that they've got under investigation for one reason or another. They'll drop the yard. All the goose squad will come out, start snatching up all the people. They got their targets. It happens all the time. The yard goes down. You know, it's an everyday part of prison life. You go out there, if you go out there in some fresh ass cosas, they'll see, oh, look at the bubbles. They think they're creased up. Oh, we got something for them. Right before you're like, oh, yeah, man, I'm out here wiggling. Bing, da, ba. Yard down. Sauce. Fuck. Right? My creases, you're trying to fucking do your stomach like that. So that way you don't get your creases messed up and the placa will come put his foot on your back. And in that fashion, right? Oh, fuck. Got to recrease those up. This is the get down. This is part of prison life. You know, people think that prison is day after day, the same routine. And for the most part, it is a daily grind, a daily routine, the next day just like the last. But no, oh, what a difference a day makes. The day can change drastically and dramatically. I've seen it plenty of times. I've been involved in it, you know, where we're going to make a move. We're going to do a removal. We're going to do a fucking a pegada or whatever the case may be. But you got to understand, we're talking about that constantly on our side. Hey, bro, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. So you already know what it is. As soon as about to get here, well, I mean, shit's happening. Do you think it's not happening in the other group factions? They're doing the same old thing. They're trying to clean house for Agua Azura, and at the same time watching us, we're watching them, and the eye in the sky is watching everybody with the fucking Mini 14. It gets ugly, you know? But for people that ask questions, they're like, yeah, you know, they wanted to know, what does that mean yard goes down? Well, you know, just like in life, man, you could be out there at the supermarket, a vato fucking hits you with the shopping cart, so I was get food for less, you're not really feeling that. You bump him back, he bumps you back, you bump him back, he bumps you back, you bump his head, he tries to bump your head, you move, you bump his fucking uppercut, and next thing you know, you're in prison, yard down. It could go yard down on the calles too, you know, but I'm down, yard down, motherfucker, right? And in that fashion, life is like that. You never know what's gonna happen. You know, sometimes I'll be walking out here on the guys. Man, I'm maintaining on my camera. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So it's get pop, pop, yard down. You know what I mean? Yard down. What the? That's it. Plain and simple. But it's something that's been happening in prison from the beginning of time. You know, it's kind of like tattoos. It goes hand in hand with prison. It's a way for them to maintain their security. Once that yard goes down, they're able to identify people, you know, whoever was in that area. And plus, it's for the safety and security of everybody, especially the placas. Let me tell you something about prison. In prison, on them yards, the administration, the placas, they are worried about that. They're concerned with themselves and their fucking team. That's it. If you're all stuck up, get the motherfucker on the gurney and get him up out of here. You're doing the write-up. No, I'm doing the right. No, not me. They're all fucking stressing over who's doing the write-up. You know, none of them are trying to be out there, hey, look, oh, fuck. They're over there like, eating a fucking hoagie sandwich at the library like, damn, I feel sorry for those dudes. Hey, look at Albert over there. We over to see overtime for him. And they're bouncing. They're going home to their old lady. Hey, guess what happened today? The yard went down, but I just happened at the same time I was going to go get one of those cookies out of the vending machine, and the winner is, you know? That's how it is. They're looking out for their own. So putting that yard down is a way for them to do their little investigation, being able to survey everyone, because in a man's game, you already know, man, the one that towers above the rest is the winner. So they're able to tower, see if there's any fucking pieces around you, if there's any weapons, hot material, things of that nature. I don't know what goes into it. I just know that they got their master plan. Of course, yard will go down, and in that fashion. Anyways, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's better to be out here yard up than in there yard down. That sucks, man. You don't want to see it. I've been on the yards, bro, where you're just out there like, fuck, man, I'm so tired. I just want to go to my cell. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to go to the cell. Guess what you're going to do? What? Máquina when you get there. It's all bad. Anyways, move fast with a purpose, man. Go out there and hustle for your familia. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about uniting the raza as one, man, from the north to the south, east, west. Perros. Oh, my. You already know what it is. Bang, bang. The Gunna Gang. And put it like that. We're going to do it like this. It ain't nothing to it but to do it. Get your mind right so you can shine right. You know what it is, familia. The gun. Bang, bang.